The NBA offseason is on our doorstep and it's already cooking up to be chaotic. After a season packed with injuries, disappointment and shocking playoff exits, front offices across the league are gearing up for what might be the most active trade market we've seen in years. Superstars, some of them former MVPs, are suddenly available. Teams that were once contending are now soul-searching. And in an era where player movement is more aggressive than ever, nothing and no one is safe. So in today's video, we're breaking down 5 NBA superstars who are most likely to be traded this summer. These aren't just names tossed into the rumor mill, we have reports backing these up. These are game-changing players whose movement could reshape the entire NBA landscape for years to come, so let's dive right in. Let's start with the biggest domino of them all, Giannis Antetokounmpo. The former 2-time MVP and NBA champion has long been seen as the epitome of loyalty. He committed to the Bucks even when the roster looked shaky, even after playoff flameouts, and even when other stars around the league were jumping ship. But after a third straight exit early in the playoffs, and now with Damian Lillard expected to miss the 2025-26 season due to a torn Achilles, Giannis is reportedly re-evaluating everything. This past season, he still played like an MVP. 30.4 points, 11.9 rebounds, and 6.5 assists per game, while finishing third in MVP voting. But he turns 30 this year, and it's clear the Bucks' championship window might already be shutting. And here's the kicker. Giannis is under contract for 3 more years, worth a total of $174 million. That means he can't just walk away, he has to ask out. And while he hasn't done that yet, reports say he's open-minded about a change. Keep an eye on the Golden State Warriors. They've got the assets, the urgency, and the ambition to make a deal like this happen. A trio of Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Giannis, that could be terrifying. Or how about the Spurs? Pairing Wemby and Giannis would be one of the scariest tandems in length the league has ever seen. Keep an eye out for just about every team in the league to put their hand up if Giannis officially asks for a trade. Next up, we've got a player who might be past his prime but still commands massive attention, Kevin Durant. To put it bluntly, the KD experiment in Phoenix has been a failure. The Suns went 36-46 this season, and they couldn't even make the play-in. And for a team that gave up multiple first-round picks and key players to get Durant in the first place, that's an expensive disappointment. Durant himself is still productive. He averaged 26.6 points, 6 rebounds, and 4.2 assists this season, while shooting over 50% from the field. But he's 36 now, and the Suns are reportedly exploring ways to reset around Devin Booker. Durant only has 1 year left on his deal, worth $54.7 million. That makes him one of the most tradable superstar contracts in the league. The San Antonio Spurs are one of the teams reportedly interested, with hopes of pairing KD and Victor Wembanyama and fast-tracking their rebuild into a playoff run. But don't sleep on a potential Warriors reunion either. Golden State made a play for him at the last deadline, and they might not be done trying. Miami also might go big fish hunting this offseason, so keep an eye on them as well. Coming in at number 3 is Jaylen Brown, and this one might surprise a lot of people. The Celtics are fresh off a championship run in 2024, but after falling short this year, thanks in part to Jason Tatum's Achilles injury, there's buzz that big changes could be coming in Boston. Brown just finished a strong season, putting up 22.2 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 4.5 assists per game. He's still an elite two-way player, and in the right system, he could absolutely be the number 1 option on a playoff team. So why move him, you might ask? Well, it comes down to money. The Celtics have the most expensive roster in the entire league, and with the new CBA cracking down on luxury taxes and making things difficult, something ultimately has to give. Brown's contract is enormous, and moving him might be the easiest way to shed some of that salary and reset the cap without taking a step backwards. Teams like the New York Knicks or Atlanta Hawks could be interested, and don't rule out the Houston Rockets, who have cap space and a treasure trove of young assets to work with. Now let's talk about the most polarizing name on the list, Zion Williamson. When Zion was drafted number 1 overall out of Duke, he was hailed as the next face of the league. But fast forward to now, and his tenure with the New Orleans Pelicans has been marked by injuries, inconsistency, and drama. He's played in just over half the possible games in his career, and he's never led the Pelicans past the first round of the playoffs. This past season, New Orleans finished 14th in the West, a colossal failure by any metric. Despite that, Zion's numbers still suggest untapped greatness. Career averages of 24.7 points, 6.6 rebounds, and 4.3 assists per game. He's still only 24, and when he's healthy, he's one of the most unguardable forces in the league. Despite conflicting reports, some sources say the Pelicans' ownership is ready to move on, and that could open the door for teams like the Detroit Pistons, who are desperate to land another star and willing to roll the dice on Zion's health and upside. The Miami Heat and their culture makes sense as well. It's a high-risk, high-reward move, but for the right team, it might be worth it. Rounding out the list is Paul George, who just wrapped up one of the worst seasons of his career and one of the most disappointing in recent Sixers history. After signing with Philly in 2024, George was supposed to be the missing piece alongside Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. Instead, he put up just 16.2 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 4.3 assists, while the Sixers stumbled to a 24-58 record and missed the playoffs entirely. George is now 35 and still owed $161 million over the next 3 years. But despite the decline, teams around the league still see value in a veteran two-way wing with playoff experience. A few destinations make sense in terms of wanting his skill set to take them over the top, but even a rebuilding team like the Utah Jazz, who have been rumored in trade buzz, could be after the Sixers' number 3 pick in a potential blockbuster deal to get PG off Philadelphia's books. Whether Philly can find a deal remains to be seen, but George is definitely a name to watch. Now, there are a few other players worth keeping an eye on, but whose situations feel a little bit more uncertain. Trae Young has been in trade rumors for over a year, but the Hawks have shown no urgency to move him just yet. Ja Morant's name has popped up in whispers, but with injuries and off-court baggage, it's unclear if there's a real market. Domantas Sabonis might be frustrated in Sacramento, but the Kings are still holding tight for now, despite his massive contract. Drew Holiday looks to be on the way out in Boston, and the same could be said for Lonzo Ball and Nikola Vucevic in Chicago. And despite the chaos in Phoenix, Devin Booker is reportedly off limits, with team governor Matt Ishbia saying a trade will never happen, but we'll have to wait and see. So there you have it, 5 NBA superstars who could be on the move this summer. Giannis, KD, Jaylen Brown, Zion Williamson, and PG-13. Each of them could change the fate of a franchise overnight. And as we've seen time and time again, the NBA landscape can flip in an instant. We've already heard reports that this could be the wildest NBA offseason we've seen in decades, and all it takes is for one domino to fall. Even if 2 of these guys get traded, we're looking at a completely new league in 2026. So tell me, which of these trades do you think is most likely, and where would you like to see these stars end up? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the action this offseason. My name is Damian Peters, and I'll see you in the next one.